Hello Dobans. So we are now on lesson 4 of chapter 7, which is solving problems on duration of time. So just to recap before we get started, I'd like you to think back to the last 2 lessons we have done and tell me how do we convert minutes to seconds and how do we convert hours to minutes? What do we have to do in order to convert both of those? So just pause the video now whilst you have a go at that. So in order to convert minutes to seconds, we need to multiply by 60 because there are 60 seconds in a minute. And in order to convert hours to minutes, we also need to multiply by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so it is really useful that you are confident with your 6 times tables because it's really useful when converting between those times. So let's have a look at our in focus task. Emma arrived at the mall at 13:35 and spent some time shopping before leaving. At what time did Emma leave the mall? So does it tell us how long Emma spent shopping? It tells us the time she arrived, but it doesn't tell us how long she spent shopping. So what should we do? What are we trying to find out here? It's a bit of a trick question actually. We're trying to find out the possible times that she could have left the mall. So the first thing I'd like you to do is tell me what time is 13:35 in the 12-hour clock, because this might help us out. So pause the video now whilst you work out what's 13:35 in the 12-hour clock. So 12-hour time, 13:35 is 1:35 p.m. So she arrived at the mall at 1:35 in the afternoon. In Let's Learn, they've noticed that 13:00 is 1 p.m, so 13:35 is 1:35 p.m. Number 2, we're going to look at the possible time she could have left the mall. So what if she spent an hour shopping before leaving? If she arrived at 1:35 in the afternoon and spent 1 hour shopping, what time did she leave? You can use your analogue clock here if you want to. So you would make 1:35, so I found 1. I'm going to find 35 minutes, which is here. Because we are on the 2 side of the clock, my hour hand needs to be just past the middle of the hour. So now if I add an extra hour, my minute hand's going to go all the way around and my hour hand's going to move an hour and it is 2:35. So an hour later would be 2:35 p.m. So that's a possible time that she could have left the mall. We have a little, Holly's mentioned here that 2:35 p.m. is the same as 14:35 in the 24-hour time. Let's have a look at another possibility. So what if she spent 30 minutes shopping before leaving? So we need to add 30 minutes to 1:35. If we move our clock back to 1:35, and now we're going to add 30 minutes. So I would count this round in my 5s. I'd go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 takes us to the o'clock. 30 is the extra 5 minutes. So the time here is 2:05 p.m. What would 2:05 p.m. be in the 24-hour time? Have a go. You're correct if you said 14:05. That's another possible time that she could have left the shopping mall. Let's have a look at the last one. It says, what if she spent 1 hour and 10 minutes shopping before she leaves? So an hour and 1:35 p.m. Going to add an hour, which takes us to 35 minutes past 2. Then we've still got the 10 minutes we need to add on. 5, 10. So what time could she have possibly left the mall here? See if you can write it down in 12-hour time and 24-hour. So in 12-hour time, it would be 2:45 p.m, or in 24-hour time, it would be 14:45. It's another possible time she could have left the shopping mall. Okay, so you can see here they've been using a number line to work it out. They've added an hour and then they've added the 10 minutes. For question 3, instead of adding 30 minutes in one go, they've done what we did and they added the 25 minutes to take you to the next hour and then added on the 5 minutes. So they're almost chunking it into easier parts for you to work it out. Okay, so it's worthwhile being able to work it out on your clock and then checking your answers on the number line, or working it out on the number line and checking your answers on the clock. Okay, so now we're going to have a go at the guided practice. Then we're going to go through the answers together. Okay, we're going to do it question by question. So number 1, Charles left his house at 9:55. He returned home at 12:25. How long was he away from home? So what they've done here is they've put it onto a number line and they've chunked it into parts to make it easier for you to work out. So you need to work out what goes in these boxes. H means hour and min means minutes. Okay, so 9:55 to 11:55, you have to work out how many hours that is. 11:55 to 12, how many minutes that is. And 12 till 12:25, how many minutes that is. Then you need to add up those times and it will give you a total duration of time that he was away from home. Then see if you can work out how much that is in minutes. Pause the video now whilst you work out these 4 boxes and do the question on the side. Okay, let's have a look. So, from 9:55 till 11:55, we can have a look on our clock. If we made 9:55, I'd be about there because we're coming up to 10 o'clock. Now I need to go to 11:55, would be 10:55 is 1 hour, 11:55 is 2 hours. So 9:55, 10:55, 11:55. That's 2 hours. 11:55 till 12, which is midday. So here I'm on 11:55 already. To get to midday at 12 o'clock is just a jump of 5 minutes. So that's 5 minutes. And then 12 till 12:25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's just 25 minutes. Now if we add them together, we can add the minutes together. 25 add 5 equals 30. And then we have add the 2 hours. So Charles was away from home for 2 hours and 30 minutes. If we were to convert that into minutes, we know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Another hour is another 60 minutes. And then we have the 30 minutes to add on top. Add them together, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2.5 hours is the same as 150 minutes. Well done if you got that one. Let's have a go at question 2. Amira spent 2 hours 15 minutes at a carnival. She left the carnival at 13:10. At what time did she arrive at the carnival? So this time we're working backwards on our number line. We know that she left at 13:10. We need to work out what time she's arrived. So we need to go back 2 hours. Then we need to go back 15 minutes. But it's split this jump up here into a 10 and a 5. So we're going to jump back 10 and then jump back the final 5. Pause the video whilst you give that a go. So if we're jumping backwards here from 13:10, take away 2 hours. So 13:10, what's that in the 12-hour time? 13:10 is 1:10 p.m. So if you make that on your clock, 10 past 1, and we're going to jump back 2 hours. Okay. So 1 is 10 past 12. 2 is 10 past 11. Okay, 10 past 11 in the morning now. So this box here should be 11:10 a.m. Then we're going to do a jump of 10 minutes backwards. So 11:10, take away 10 minutes. So we're going backwards, remember. 5:10 takes us to 11 o'clock. So this middle box here should be 11 a.m. And then we need to take away the additional 5. So 11 o'clock, take away 5 minutes, takes us to 55 minutes, but we're not past the 11th hour. Now we've gone back into the 10th hour. So it's 10:55 a.m. It's a little bit trickier when you're counting backwards, okay, but that was in there to test you a little bit. Well done if you got that. So she arrived at the carnival at 11:55 a.m. Let's have a look at question 3. Holly and her family took a flight from Liverpool to Paris. The flight departed 40 minutes after boarding time. The flight was an hour and 30 minutes long. At what time did they reach Paris? So she boarded at 16:30, which is what in the 12-hour time? See if you can work it out. 40 minutes later, the flight departed. So what time did the flight depart? An hour and 30 minutes later, they reached Paris. So you need to fill in what time they reached Paris and then put it in the box at the bottom. Pause the video now whilst you give that a go. So 14:30 in the 12-hour time is 4:30 p.m. We then need to add 40 minutes. So let's make 4:30 or 4:30. Then we're adding 40 minutes. So I'm using my minute hand. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm on 5 o'clock. 35, 40. So we've got 10 past 5 there. So that's 5:10 p.m. Or in 24-hour time, what would that be? 17:10. Okay, now we need to add an hour and 30 minutes to 17:10. So add an hour would take us to 10 past 6. And 30 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Takes us to 6:40. 6:40 p.m. Or in the 24-hour time, that would be 18:40. Holly and her family reached Paris at 18:40 p.m. Well done if you've got that one. Right, we have one more left to try together. Sam took a coach from Manchester to London. He boarded the coach at 23:00 on Friday, and the coach ride was 4 hours long. When did he arrive in London? So here we've got when he boarded the coach on Friday. 4 hours later, he's arrived in London. You need to work out what these times are split into in the middle. Okay, let me just point out that they are evenly spaced, and we've got 1 to start you off here. Pause the video whilst you have a go at that, please. So what time is 23:00 in the 24-hour time? Sorry, in the 12-hour time. It's 11 p.m, 11 o'clock at night. Okay, that's when he boarded the coach on the Friday. Then we've got a jump of an hour to 00:00, which is midnight on Saturday. And then another equal jump would be 1 a.m, then we have 2 a.m, then the final box is 3 a.m. So he arrived in London at 3 a.m. on Saturday. So all they've done here is shown you this is duration of 4 hours. We are split into 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours. So you just need to add 1 hour each time. The tricky part is that we're going into the hours in the morning. So there isn't a 24-hour conversion because it's in the morning, it's the AM. Okay, so 1 AM, 2 AM, 3 AM. That was a bit of a tricky one there. So now I would like you to go on to have a go at this by yourself on worksheet 4. It's on page 190 and 191. They are similar questions to this. So if I was you, I'd use your clock to help you and then check your answers by using a number line. Let me know how you get on. Any questions, post on our stream. And remember that you can access this textbook on the Maths No Problem website with your login. Good luck, everyone.